to start with is just sort of table set for everyone that's joined this call today. And first, to understand that modern IT functions are in a constant barrage of crises, large and small, and that how businesses deal with these continuous disruptions and whether they can transform themselves into opportunities is one of the biggest hurdles that IT organizations are facing. It seems like major crises are coming up at us thicker and faster than ever before. Those can be economic, like the credit crunch or a flash crash. They can be natural disasters like the volcanic ash in Europe or the Japanese earthquake, or they can be public relations disasters like the BP oil spill. And one of the things that gets in the way of change is the reality that IT functions in particular get most of that burden. And when we think about the impact that change has on any organization, what research has shown us is that almost 75% of every change initiative fails. It doesn't matter whether you're trying to update your CRM, ERP, HRM, CM systems. Inside of those projects and opportunities becomes a wealth of potential failures. So what's the big deal? Well, first, the Internet and the subsequent interconnected world raise expectations of real-time service. Any interruption in service delivery, whether a delay in order, a dropped mobile phone call, a canceled flight, leads to immediate customer frustration and possible defection to a competitor. Second, the interconnectedness of the business value chain and the tightness of margins mean that any disruption in one cog can have rapid knockoff effects for the whole mechanism. And that's what you're seeing. And what we have found, as Charles Darwin said, is that it's not the strongest of the species that survives or the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change. And we all know that within the IT world that that's very difficult to anticipate. And we also know that the burden on IT functions is becoming more and more apparent. When you think about things that are occurring as of today with unemployment at 9.1%, as they announced today, Bank of America may be laying off over 40,000 employees over the next year, that all that means is that we have to focus on getting the right people focused on the right projects to deliver the right results. And that's what we're really here to talk about today. And if we just take and look at that the problem lies in the fact that multiple projects are in flight, that we have all these things that we just described, how do we select and prioritize our efforts to ensure we are focusing on scarce resources on the right things? And that's where the dilemma lies. I know all of you that are out there on the call right now have experienced some senior management coming to IT saying, what's wrong, my email's not working, or where are you at with the upgrade, or did you fix that bug? And all of those questions become huge priorities for you folks. And two of the projects that we have recently done, in one instance, there were 162 IT projects, and our tool, Business Orchestration, was able to identify and narrow that list down to over 68 that was able to be managed and executed on. In another example, there was 97 projects that IT had to deliver on for senior management. We were able to condense those 97 and create a queue that had only 10 projects being delivered through the year. Because what we all know, that with the economic uncertainty that exists today, that we have to be able to do more with less. We have to create a scalable engine, something that's repeatable, that allows us that ability to change the way we're going about executing IT projects. So if we just take a very simple example of looking at application development, and whether this is about as generic as we could come up with, and we look at that there's 6 real building blocks to app dev, and we look at this as a pipeline of different activities that exist that, when it comes to developing an application, we're going to start with requirements, we're going to develop at least the beta version, we're going to test that, we're going to QA it, then we're going to deploy it, and then support. And wouldn't it be great if that pipeline was that clean? That would make our lives so much easier. The unfortunate part is it just doesn't work that way, because every one of those 6 building blocks has multiple activities, multiple projects that are going on, and we have a responsibility, and we're all being held accountable to make sure that we can execute on the things that can bring us the biggest business value, that helps us increase our performance, that can grow and scale. Those are the issues that are coming up. So what we see on a pretty consistent basis is that if we're trying to get information out of, let's say the cloud, and we're pushing that information out into the pipeline that's, could be anywhere, located anywhere, that all along there's opportunity for failure. There's opportunity for things to get in the way and cause us angst. So something can't be retrieved out of the cloud, server may be down, and as the example 1 shows, that can cause pain. We may be running through and using a automation tool in testing, and it may go down, let alone the opportunity for just basic human error. So all along this pipeline, problems can arise and problems can get into the way. And so what is really extremely important when it comes to prioritization and selecting the things that are going to be most important to not only IT but to your business is creating a mechanism or a tool or a software as a service, let's say, that allows you to hopefully eliminate where those problems come up so that we can focus on the things that are going to have the highest value and priority for your business. So what we developed, and we had done some work with Microsoft about 7-8 years ago, but what we developed is what we call business orchestration. And as you saw the yellow cloud in the previous slide, that's where a lot of problems can arise. Well, our application exists up in the Amazon cloud, and what happens in up in the cloud is that it gives us an opportunity to select and prioritize projects. And so as we go through the opportunity of identifying what are the capabilities and activities that go into building out a project and begin to prioritize those, we can identify, define, and score those in real time with our software. So that way, when we start to push those projects down into the pipeline, it allows us that opportunity to truly be focused on the things that are going to have the greatest impact. And as you see down here in the lower right, we can create and customize what the attributes are for measurement, whether you want to look at business value, performance, scalability, interconnectedness, if you have compliance issues, if there are issues with regards to security, whether outside the firewall or inside the firewall. All of those things can be customized within the tool. And what the output is as you can see, is a heat map. And what senior executives, and one of the struggles we all have that deal in the IT world is, how do we translate the issues that exist in our business, in our functional area within IT, in terms that executives can understand? Because we all know how simple-minded most senior executives are that have no IT or software experience have, because all they really are concerned with is, can they access their email? Can they get to documents, and ensuring that everything is up when they need it? And we all know that's on the call that that's not the real world, and that the things that impact you guys on a daily basis is much more significant than that, and in most instances they have no idea the amount of work and architectural development that occurs behind the scenes. So as you can see, the output is this visual representation, and the beauty of what this produces is, in conjunction with what will be talked in on the back end of our conversation today, is a tool that allows you to take this information directly and put it into a heavy-duty steroid project management tool that